Hello there, this is TopMatters, where we bring you the top issues affecting Nigerians at the moment. Today on the program, we shine a spotlight on a vital institution that is making a remarkable impact on Nigerian educational landscape. We turn our attention to the National Commission for Nomadic Education, NCNE, and its crucial role in enhancing the standard of education in Nigeria. Professor Bashir Haruna Usman, the Executive Secretary of this commission, takes us through the activities of the commission and how it has gone to achieving its mandate of exposing out-of-school children to the elementary forms of modern education, enabling them to take part in the development of their immediate environment and the country at large. I am Victor Emmanuel. Today we are in the National Commission for Nomadic Education, and we have the person of the Executive Secretary, who is Professor Bashir Haruna Usman. It's good to have you on the program today, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
We will be looking at the National Commission for Nomadic Education. So I want you to brief us on this commission. What is it about? Custom the mandate.
Wow. Thank you very much, my dear interviewee. And it was established in 1989 via a decree. They call it Decree 41. But now it's an act, Act 20 of the Nigerian laws or federation. And it was purposely established to run the nomadic education program. That is the purpose for which it was established. And the nomadic education program is nothing more than to give unfettered access in basic education to nomadic groups. If I say nomadic groups, I mean pastoralists, fisher folks, and migrant farmers. There's a good proportion of these groups in this country. And then it was felt that they were disadvantaged, and of which they are disadvantaged. And their lifestyle excluded them from getting the appropriate education for the development of the country. So that we are supposed to give them basic education so that they can be part and parcel of the development of the country. Fundamentally, the program, like I said, is supposed to give them unfettered access. And the core mandate of the commission is that we are supposed to formulate policies and issue guidelines on infrastructural development of nomadic schools and ensure standards and assure quality that is given to nomadic groups in this country. So that is basically what Nomadic Education Commission is all about.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, let's look at regionally and the primary focus of the Ministry of Education in general is to ensure basic education for the Nigerian child. So how is the commission...
Basic and tertiary.
Basic and tertiary education for the Nigerian population. So how is the commission ensuring that nomads have access to quality education?
Thank you very much for this question. In the commission, or the pioneers of the commission, developed some strategies. First, they developed the strategy of policy making, a framework of a policy in order to carry out this nomadic education. The second one is that they decided to do a strategy of advocacy, mobilization, sensitization on all issues that concern educating these groups. Okay? Then they decided that also there is a need for a policy on infrastructure development of these schools. We must provide infrastructure for the schools of the nomads and the groups that are migrating from one point to the other, either the fisher folks or the farmers. The next thing they decided to do was to make sure that there is a curriculum that they can be used to actually educate them. Now, let me say this. The Nigerian Educational Research Commission is supposed to, NERDC, sorry, is supposed to develop a curriculum for the whole country for basic education, the whole country. But after they have developed a curriculum for a particular subject, we take the curriculum and then adopt it, and then use the lifestyle of our clientele in order to make it more adaptable to our clientele, so that at least they can use that particular curriculum. So this is some of the strategies that we have used. We also do teacher, part of our strategy plans, we do also teacher development, capacity of our teachers. We also try as much as possible to encourage as a strategy to make sure that the girl child is also involved in this, particularly with the pastoralists. You know, they hardly allow that the girl child should go because of the centrality of labor for the girl child, for the nomads in their community. So basically, these are some of the strategies that nomadic education put in place in order to ensure that the nomadic groups in this country are educated.
What is the Commission doing to improve the situation so that its people who are involved in nomadic education are aware of the modern workforce?
Well, what we usually do is, in order to align with the workforce of the country, we decided to divide our clientele into two. There is the pupils. The pupils are supposed to be educated from primary 1 to 5, as well as JS 1 to 3. And then we have the nomadic youth, probably the dropouts, some of them 15 to around up to 24, 25 years old. So we decided to divide them into two. For the primary school, I've just told you that we adopt the curriculum, we change the curriculum to suit their lifestyle so that we can educate them. And for the nomadic youth, we decided to develop a skill, like a skill acquisition center, where we also train them and give them means of livelihood, so that at least they can use their skills in order to live. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is basically what we are doing. So we divided the sections. The adults, we give them the adult education so that at least they can go along with the workforce of the country. And then the pupils that are less than 15, we also, who are aspiring to go to secondary schools, so that we can give them the basic education that is required for them to join the Nigerian workforce.
So, in line with this, I want to focus on technology, because this has become a critical tool in our current situation. So, is the Commission taking advantage of technology to improve the quality of education? How does it go about this?
Thank you very much. We do that in several ways. Particularly, we whether somebody likes it or not, with the current situation in this country and the world all over, you must imbibe technology in order to do the activities that we are supposed to do. Now, fundamentally, we use the radio. The use of the radio has always been there with us since our establishment. And then we used to cut tapes and do broadcasting. We do school radio schooling. So we teach a few subjects via radio.
The Commission tries to reach its clientele through broadcasting. In doing this, it employs the service of radio houses.
FRC in Ibadan, FRC in Lagos, Enugu, and Radio Bayelsa, so that they do the broadcast on our behalf. We buy airtime and we do that. But of recent, we felt that, look, we are spending so much money and we are not getting every single thing that we want. So we decided that why don't we establish our own radio station? So we are trying as much as possible to get a radio station on ground so that at least we can do these educational programs for the rest of the clientele. This is one. Two, we also have IRI. We call it interactive radio instructions. And what we do with that is that we also have lessons, and we broadcast those lessons to our clientele so that at least they can also learn a few things out of that. These are some of the things that we are doing in terms of using ICT, leveraging on ICT so that we can educate the populace that are within our purview.
So how effective has this means been, and how well has it helped improve the literacy?
In 1989, when we were established, our clientele, about 0.29% of our clientele, 0.029 actually, were educated, just having basic education. And by 1998, we have up to 2%. And by 2018, it has rose to 12%. Today, we can pride of between 17 and 19% literacy level amongst our clientele. And this statistics was churned out by our parent ministry, the Federal Ministry of Education. So I will comfortably say yes, we are between 17 and 19% over the 30 years that we are established.
Congratulations on this feeling.
Thank you. We need it.
Earlier you mentioned that the commission has gotten involved with ensuring that also the girl child gets equal education.
Yeah.
So how has the commission done this to improve gender equality, especially in the area of nomadic education?
Thank you very much. Earlier on also, I said the problem with our clientele is the centrality of the child in their labor, the distribution of labor. Whether it is the fisher folk, they still take their children out into the seas to do fishing, and hardly do they go to school. Whether it is the nomad, the pastoralist, he still wants to take his child along with him for herding, or give the herds to the child to herd. Or if they milk the cows, they can now give the milk to their children, the female children, to go and sell the milk. So centrality of the child labor with our clientele is there. So what we decided to do was to go out there and do the advocacy and the mobilization and sensitization. We sensitize them on, look, there is a need for this girl child to go to school. And what happened was, after a while, we felt that even going to talk to them is not enough. So why don't we bring them into groups and form mothers association? So that more often than not, it is when you talk to a mother that you get things done in a family than probably to a father. But with the fathers, we have already formed the school-based management committees. So we have them in every nomadic school. We have parents coming together to manage their school. This is one. The second one is that we now started forming mothers association. For example, in Bauchi State alone, I know we have about 87, either 78 or 87. I mean, it's the 7 and the 8. Yeah. So either 87 or 78 mothers association. And they are functioning. So we go there, we talk to them, we tell them, look, there is a need for you to allow your child to go to school. And more often than not, they will say, okay, I will withdraw the 11-year-old and then give you a 5-year-old. And it's still not too good. So we decided that, okay, we shouldn't be doing that. We should allow each and every one of them to reach a certain level, at least JS3, before you start thinking of marrying them off.
Okay, so let's look at some of the challenges the commission faces, and how it has been able to address some of those challenges over time.
Thank you very much. Well, the good thing about it is that most of the parastatals or most of the ministries in this country, every other thing that they have is the funding challenge. But ours is more than that. Our mandate is so difficult that our challenges are exclusive in terms of are personal to us. For example, I have talked about the centrality of child labor with our clientele. This is a very, very serious issue. I have not talked about the constant migration of my clientele. It's a real challenge for us. These two major things or three major things, that the insecurity that is coming up now, very, very serious challenge. The system itself is not too good for our clientele. For example, I will go into the land tenure system, whereby our clientele do not have land. They just have to be moving on and on. And so it's a real challenge for our clientele. For us to have them in one place and say, okay, let's educate them. For every one of us, the climate change, every one of us has this problem. For example, places are becoming deserts nowadays, for example, and that is the reason why people are moving from the north to the south of the country, and the farmer-herder conflicts are all coming up. So these are personal to our clientele, and these are personal to us. And whatever somebody is going to do, until and unless you address these challenges, of course, the funding is not very adequate. But I must say, we are doing our best with the funding. Teacher is a problem for us. You see, in nomadic education, we have to partner with the state governments and the local governments in order to deliver the program, the nomadic education program. So until we get the cooperation of the state government and the cooperation of the local governments, we cannot work completely. We also have, for us, we will lack female teachers in the nomadic system. And our thinking is that if we have more female teachers from the locality, that you are from this Ruga, and then you can graduate and then still go ahead and teach in that Ruga as a female, it will now be like a role model to the rest of the females that are in that particular community. So we lack female teachers as well.
We had a chat with directors of the Commission who are working round the clock to improve the quality of education in the country.
The National Commission for Nomadic Education extensively works with research, and we research into the lifestyle of the nomads to find out, why are these children not going to school? What are the hindrances? How can we encourage them to ensure that they go to school? Now, if you look at the work role of the nomads, the children are central in their day-to-day lifestyle. And as a result of these engagements, the children are hardly in the school. In our planning, we get involved in what we call flexible timetable. While other children in conventional schools will go to school by 8 a.m. and close by 2. In nomadic schools, they may start by 7:30 in the morning and close by 11 to enable them go for herding of cattle. If you refuse, they will not go. Culturally, the people will not allow the children to be in the school. Because within the period, you hear them making sounds that they will be very uncomfortable in the class. So anything you're doing at that time, they will not participate actively.
Nomadic Education Program is a national program, and it's based on national standards. And these are standards that have been established, which every educational program policy is expected to attain. Now, as a commission, we adopted that standards be implemented in nomadic education program. As a department under the commission, we are charged with the responsibility for ensuring that programs put in place by the commission meets these national standards. And how do we do that? We go out for monitoring, either periodically or nationally, and so on. But while in this on the exercise monitoring, either monitoring periodically or general monitoring. You look out for those indicators that will tell you what is happening within the school system. And in every school system, there are performance indicators which are set. What are these performance indicators? They are the teachers, the children, the community, the school environment, learning materials, and furniture.
The allocation of resources is based on the budgetary process. And that budget process starts from development of the plans, and need assessment from the various departments. The prioritization of activities of the Commission based on the financial activities depends on need assessment by the various departments. It's from that need assessment that they will be collated, then the selection will be made at least by the management first. Then we look at them, then prioritize the areas of the activities. And this, as the budget is, prioritization of activity depends on the circumstances of which you find yourself. The activity, the situation, the current position you are will determine which one is priority and which one is not. For instance, now if we have a security challenge, like that, our clients are mostly in the hard-to-reach areas. So it will not be a priority activity now to think of peace building, peace activity, and youth engagement. Because it's only when you have the peace, you have the youth, that you have the children be handed over to you for the classrooms, which is our main target.
Actually, the department is in charge of developing and designing school-based program for nomadic education, nomadic children, the pastoralists, the migrant fisher folk, and migrant farmers. And we've been conducting research, we've been conducting teacher training for our teachers in nomadic schools. And actually, we don't employ teachers. It's the state and local government that employ teachers. So when they deploy teachers to nomadic school, we train them because the curriculum we develop, we adapt it from the conventional curriculum to suit the lifestyle, environment, and culture of nomads, so that the education given to them will be relevant.
Of recent, to be specific, in 2021, the Commission conducted staff training on work ethics and attitudinal change for improved productivity in the Nigerian public service for staff of the Commission generally, to enhance the administrative skills and competencies of NCNE employee. This training assisted in developing the knowledge and competencies of staff on human resource management. It also equipped staff with information and communication technology skills. Staff were trained on acceptable work ethics. They were also trained on proposal and technical report writing.
The impact of the National Commission for Nomadic Education to empower local communities with education is contributing to the social and economic development of the entire nation. The ripple effects of its efforts are felt in improved literacy rates, enhanced employability, and the cultivation of a more inclusive and prosperous society. Follow us on all our social media platforms as we keep you posted on top matters as it relates national development. Until next week, we shall return with more updates from the National Commission for Nomadic Education. Keep it locked right here, same time, same station. I am Dr. Emmanuel.